Hello guys, I've made another purchase of random silver coins off of eBay. I made a video like this a couple months ago where I had purchased some just a grab bag of old silver coins off of eBay. Now that other one was, many of the coins were about 200 years old, and I ended up getting them for a spot price. While the coins were well worn and had some holes in them, things like that. Yeah, I find things like that really interesting because if you're gonna, I'm not a silver stacker, but if you're gonna stack silver, I mean, how many peace dollars and FDR dimes do you need? I just think that it's interesting to buy these old coins for their, pay pretty much spot price for the silver content, but then the numismatic value turns out to be so much more. So the time I did this before, I got about 3 ounces of silver, and it cost me about $60. This one is a cheaper deal, and just like the last one, the image that was on the eBay listing was very not a good photo, so you couldn't really tell what was in it. But the listing was $30 plus $3.50 for shipping. So if I get 2 ounces out of this at today's spot price, then this will be worth it just for the silver content. But we're going to see what if there's any numismatic value to go along with it. So we're going to cut this open and take a look on the inside. All right, I've sliced the envelope open. There is the letter from the seller, and here are our coins. Let me pause just a moment to unwrap this. All right, opening it up. I could tell what a few of these coins were on the just going by the picture in the auction, but there's a lot of things here that were so well worn, or the picture just wasn't good, and I couldn't really tell what everything was. But it was listed as U.S. and foreign silver coins random assortment, and in the picture I could count 25 coins. So now let's open up this bag and see what we have. Okay, first off here, what do we have carded? This one is Germany. Half a mark from 1918. And selling price is at $10. That would be something if it really had that kind of numismatic value. But that looks like it's a little bit bigger than a dime, and it does have damage there in the corner. So that's probably not worth $10 unless that's just an incredible key date or something. Let's go to this next one here. Now, this appeared to be the biggest coin in the entire auction, and I could see what it was. Now, it's only 72% silver, but if that's right about it having nearly 0.35 ounces of silver in it, just doing the math in my head, that is by itself worth 6. And so if there's 25 coins and silver coins in here, and I paid $33.50 for the whole lot, my math says that's about $1.30 per coin for it to be worth it. And when you get a big coin like this, that just drives down what everything else needs to be to make it worthwhile. See what we've got next here. This is going to be from Portugal. Someone had a price on that for $6.95, and it is two and a half escudos. I know they use the little dollar symbol there, but they use escudos. This coin is also about the size of a nickel, and actually that one already had. Let's see what we have here in its own little bag. This is from Austria. I recognize it. I happen to have one of these as well. It is 1 shilling from 1926. Has a building on the front of it that looks kind of like a Parthenon. Probably not, since that would have been in Greece, but this is from Austria. Now, this thing right here caught my eye. It looks like an ancient Roman coin, but there's no way that's a real Roman coin, because This was one that I actually looked up because I could actually make out the letters on here. If that was a real coin, it would be worth several $100s. So this is bound to be a replica. But the thing is, I looked up this coin online, and I could not find anyone that had made replicas of this. So it's certainly not mass-produced, but might even have to perform a test on it to see if it's really made out of silver on that. So we'll set that one up aside. Let's see here. This one says Italy, 20 cents, 1919 key date. Gives the someone says that was worth $7. Now this was one that I could identify in the picture because I could read that. This coin is actually not silver. This one's just a nickel coin, but it had a pretty good value to it, so numismatically, but not silver-wise. Next up, we have our last of the quite of a large coin. This one's only half silver from, let's see, Colombia, 1947. Someone sold it for $5, and it's about the size, almost the size of a $1/2, I would think, and just even if it's half silver, that's got to be worth $3 or $4 just worth it for silver in there. So that's everything that came in a little cardboard flip. What do we have next in here? This one is labeled Belgium, 1901, 50 centimes. Very well worn, but I see a lot of coins in here that are about the size of a dime, and so at least it's interesting to get that for the silver price. We're starting to get to more of the ones that I could not identify. This one looks like another ancient coin, or at least no idea what that says on it. It's again, it's either really old or it's a replica. That's interesting, but I'm going to take some research to figure out what that one is. Next up, we have about the size of a quarter here. It says Guatemala, 25 cents. Obviously well worn, but a lot of these Latin American coins actually give the actual purity and the amount of silver on them. This one has a date of, looks like 1891, so poor shape, but there's a lot of silver in that, for sure. What we have next in here, we've got, this one's a lot easier to read, also from Guatemala. That one, first I saw 1821 there in the middle of that shield, but at the bottom it has 1873. That's nice, 2 reals. And so that's about the size of a quarter. Up next we have something else that is incredibly well worn on here. Okay, so Ein Kreutzer 1805. So this is, where is this from? That, well, it looks like a copper coin and not a silver coin, but certainly interesting nonetheless. That one's going to take some research. Another from the well-worn stack. So we've got a coin with the Simon Bolivar on it, so that might be Venezuela as I drop it. This coin has a date of 1936. I see the country of Venezuela on here, so quarter, well worn. Here's another bigger coin. This one is has a lot of toning on it. Does that say 1861? Oh, okay, the top says 1861, but the bottom says 1961, 500 lira, so that's going to be Italy. So that is a nice coin, and that's big enough to have another $3 or $4 just in silver in it. So that's nice. It's several horses that appear to be pulling a chariot. Okay, another from Guatemala. Has Rafael Cabrera is the name of the person on there. That date is well worn. I'm going to say that is 1851 or 61. Again, about the size of a quarter. Now we have something the size of a dime, and we have a coin that is so well worn I'll never be able to figure out what that one is. About the size of a dime, so if nothing else, that's about 90 cents worth of silver or so. Next up, we have a coin in a language that I cannot read. So that looks like a coin from Thailand, and then it's also got a date using numbers that I'm not going to be able to understand. So that's another one to research. Next up, we have a coin that is easy to read, but this coin is damaged. It's got a, it's kind of bent. It got a little divot in there, but it is from $5 dos two decimos de sucre, 90% silver, in Ecuador, 1895. Yeah, that's nice. Here we have a U.S. dime, 1964. The last year they were made out of silver, and it's 90%. That's in high quality condition. So silver value is about $1, but the that is in nice shape. So the numismatic value in that is certainly more than $1. Another well-worn coin here, but that one I recognize the guy from Ecuador from our previous Ecuador coin. So another one that's trying to get away from me here. Go onto that ugly 70s couch, but I might never be able to make out a year on that, but at least I recognize the guy from Ecuador, so at least I know where it's from. Coming up next, this is another one that I was able to identify from the picture. It says 100 grains sterling silver, 1971. And on this side it says of from the private treasury of Russ and Kathy Perkins. I looked this coin up before here. This is a token made by the Franklin Mint. Really is made out of silver, sterling silver. So not really something I would seek to collect, but it is an actual silver token. Has about $3, maybe a little bit more of silver in that. So not bad if I'm paying $1.50 for it. Here's another well-worn coin. This is Česká Slovenska, so we've got Czechoslovakia, 1929. So I forget what their 5 Karoons, I forget what the name of their currency was, but that's again quite a that's larger than a quarter. So a good amount of silver content in there. We have another American dime. This one is also from 1964. It is still has some of its luster. It's a little bit more scratched up than the other one, but just numismatic value, that's going to be worth more than just the $1 of silver that's in that. Looks like we have one more coin in our bag here. Nope, 2 more coins. Next, another one that's about almost a quarter size. We have Emmanuel III, so I'm thinking this is Italy. I may be wrong about that. And, oh, it does say Italy on the back. I'm not familiar with any of their coins looking like this, but it's 1906. Does it say 1 lira on it? I see the L for lira. Is that a 1 to the right of it? I'm not sure, but it is Italy. So that is a nice coin. And then we've got one more in the bag. Let's see if we can get that one to come out here. Another well-worn coin. Is this This must be an American. Yeah, that's a U.S. coin. I forget what these are called, like a seated Liberty. Very well worn, but this is 1800s, and that's going to be another dime. So, going to have about $1 worth of silver in it because it is an American dime that didn't change for many years. But numismatically, I wonder what a an old U.S. coin in this beat up of a shape is going to be worth. Interesting one for the collection. So here we have the 25 coins that came for $30 plus $3.50 for shipping. So I think that's worth $33.50 just for the silver content. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time and research this, and I'm either going to add on to this video, or if this video just stops, then we're going to see something in the description where I'm just going to write out everything that we have on here. So thanks for watching. So I'm back, and I decided that I looked up each of these coins, and I just figured it'd be easier for me to talk about all of them instead of typing everything up or taking a photo or anything like that. But I looked up each of these coins, and I also looked up their silver content, and then looked up the value of the silver, and then finally I looked up the numismatic value of these coins. And one thing I'll note is when I did this, I thought silver was about $17 an ounce. I should have looked it up first. Today silver is at $18 an ounce, so you can go ahead and add a little bit more to the value of what I come up with each of these. But we're going to start up here, and I've put these in the order that I opened them out of the bag. So I figured it'd be easier to do it that way instead of grouping them any other way. So we're going to start up here with this German Empire half mark. That is 90% silver, worth about $1.36. And yeah, there's no way that's worth $10, especially with the that looks like they must have turned it into jewelry and then tried to cover up a hole or something like that. So I'm going to say that one's worth about $2. This next one from Netherlands was the largest coin here, and it's only 72% silver, but with a coin that large, that's still about 0.347 ounces of silver, and it's worth $5.90. Numismatic value $6.50. Going over here to this Portugal 2.5 escudos. That is one of the smaller coins here, but it's still 65% silver, and so that might be the one of the lower content silver coins that we got today, but it's still worth $1.24. And if you remember, I said earlier that if these could average $1.30, then I would make out okay on that. And this is one of the lesser coins, and this one still has a numismatic value of about $2. Next we have the Austrian shilling in the bag right here from 1926. It's 64% silver, but it's a fairly large coin, so that's worth about $2.10 in silver, or the book value of the coin is about $2.50. Here is the one that is the fake. I think it's a fake coin. It's supposed to represent a coin from Rome, from the time of Christ, so you could see why people would be interested in something like that. It's designed to be a Tiberius denarius tribute penny, and so like I said, it looks like a fake coin. I'm just going to assume it is. If it's real, one just sold on eBay for $285. I'm not thinking I got that. The question is it really made out of silver? I'm going to say no on that, but I'm not going to throw it away either. I'll look into it a little bit more. Next up is the Italian coin. I mentioned earlier this one does not have any silver, and someone had written a price on there, $7. In that condition, it's worth about $3.50, so no silver. Here's our coin from Colombia. This is probably the second biggest coin here, but it's only 50% silver. That's still a lot of silver. So that's going to have a silver value of $3.40 or a book value of about $4. Here we have the Belgium coin that's very well worn. It's 83.5% silver. Its silver content is about $1.14. But since it's old in this shape, even though it's well worn, about $1.50. Next up, this one turned out to be pretty interesting. It is a coin from the medieval era, and I found a date on it of, I wrote this down somewhere, it has a date of 1664, and after doing a search, this coin is from Lithuania. It's no silver, but it is a copper shilling from Lithuania, and has a book value of $5. Next up is this well-worn coin from Guatemala, 1881, 25 centavos, 83.5 silver, worth about $2.85 in silver. It's in rough shape, so the book value is not going to be any more than that. Coming over here to the next Guatemalan coin, this one's in really nice shape. For its age, and it had the date of 1873. It's 2 reals, 90% silver. 1873, $3 of silver, has a book value of $6. This next coin is a copper coin, so no silver content, but it is from the former country of Salzburg, which became part of Austria. It's from 1805. So it might be the oldest coin, well, the second oldest coin here. And it is in rough shape, so it's worth about $1. But still, if I saw that for $1, I would have purchased it. Next up, we have our coin from Venezuela. This one was so well worn, I had to actually measure it at 23 millimeters to figure out what it was. And it's turns out that it is 83.5 silver. So it's worth about $2.28 in silver. Next up was another of the larger coins, 500 lira from Italy, and it's got $5 of silver in it. It's another 83.5% silver from 1961. I was surprised. I would have thought the book value would have been a little bit more on that. It's quite toned, but it's still in pretty good shape, but it's only has a book value of about $5.50, and for this one I actually went to eBay and checked out sold listings just to see what it was selling for, and there wasn't that much of a premium over the silver. Next one, we've got another one from Guatemala. This one turned out to be from 1861, 2 reals. Another one I had to measure at 26 millimeters, and this one is 0.903 silver, so slightly over 90%. I don't know why they put that extra little 0.3% in there, but this has a silver value of about $3.06. Coming up to this next one, I could not tell anything about that coin. I looked at it at an angle, I saw kind of a face and the top half of a date, but couldn't tell anything about that. This next one, when I first looked at it, I said it was Thailand. After a closer look, I realized it had the markings of that you would see in Nepal, but it was not Nepal. This one took me a while to hunt down. It is from, I actually had to get out the app called CoinScope. I don't know if you've ever heard of that app or not, but you can use your phone, take a picture of a coin, and it will guess. It'll search all these coin databases and tell you what it probably is, and couldn't figure it out from the front, but it did get it when I looked in the back. This one is from Baroda, which is a princely state from which is now part of India, but so I'd never heard of that before. This coin dates from about 1895. I guess being they didn't keep good records, they know it's made out of silver, but they don't know the purity on it. So the silver content, just going to have to guess about $1, but the numismatic value is 6 on that. Next we have this 1895 coin from Ecuador. It turned out to be 2 decimos, which would be about 2 dimes in their currency. This was 90% silver, worth about $2.50 in silver, and with the big chunk that's kind of damaged it right there, has book value of about $3. Next we have the 64 dime. And it's got $1.25 in silver, and I was hoping, even though it's in nice shape, that it'd be worth more than that, but apparently it's really easy to find 64 dimes in good shape. So that one's going to be about $2 of book value. Here's the other coin that we had from Ecuador. This was another one that I had to measure at 19 millimeters. So this turned out to be 1 decimo. It has the exact same silver content as the dime next to it. And so about $1.25 worth of silver, and in that rough shape, no extra book value on that. Coming to the next one, this is the one that is not an actual coin, but a token made by the Franklin Mint. 100 grains of sterling silver. Sterling means it's 92.5% silver, and that translates to a little over 2/10 of an ounce. And so that would make it worth about a little over $3.50. Next we have this larger coin from Czechoslovakia, 5 korun. It's only half silver, but that's still over 1/10 of an ounce, so it's worth $1.91 in silver value, and it is very well worn, so no extra premium for the coin value. We've got another dime, not as good a shape as the other one, still worth $1.25 in silver, or $1.50 numismatically. We come next to this coin from Italy, 1906, 1 lira, 83.5% silver, value of $2.28 silver, or $3.50 numismatically. This last coin here turned out to be another United States dime. It was a seated Liberty dime. It's in very rough shape. Couldn't read the date on this, but the U.S. minted these from about 1837 to 1891. It's going to have the same silver content as these other dimes at $1.25, and I went on eBay and sorted for what was the cheapest dime, seated Liberty dime sold on eBay, and it was just $1.50. So I have some other coins that old from America that had quite a premium over the silver value, but not on this one. So what do all these $33.50 worth of coins worth? Well, added it up, and it was 2.85 ounces of silver. And at $17 an ounce, remember I messed that up, but at $17 an ounce, that's worth $48 in silver. But the numismatic value, and with that, of course, that means that this Italian coin didn't have any value, this medieval coin didn't, this coin from Salzburg didn't have any value. So if you add the numismatic value, these are all worth $72. So if you can't tell, I am a data analyst. I love adding things up, and I also like rough shaped silver coins that I can get below spot price. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thanks.